we got it.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? My name is Andrew Mercy Taylor, and I have the honor and the privilege for joining you for this weekend's Military Gaming's League of Legends tournament, where our teams will be competing for $250 in cash prize. And while I could try to do this by myself, and you would probably be very bored and not entertained, I luckily have the honor and the privilege of casting with none other than James Gamer Tribute Johnson. James, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Mercy. I'm really looking forward to this tournament.
Well, we're super glad to have you here. I know I'm very excited to be casting with MGL. This is my first time casting with this organization, and I am very excited to do so. I very much got the impression from Sham Shield, who is, I believe, one of the founders or co-founders, that he is very, excited and ecstatic to bring the military together to be able to share something like gaming with everyone. And today we're going to be doing it with League of Legends as we do it for the rest of the weekend. So to start things off, we're going to be having the U.S. Army esports team taking on Twisted Sin. And what you're going to see is the game series is going to be the best record is going to face off on Sunday in a best of 3 final match. These will be best of 1. So as we start to look at this and we're going to get ready for champ select, Gamer Tribute, is there something that you've been seeing in the meta recently that you think is going to show its head as we start to get into these pre-made 5v5s?
I'm looking forward to seeing if we're going to see some of the interesting things that we will play. Some things like the Sonateric bot lane. Just some interesting things in the meta. See how these teams are going to come out here and do this.
Yeah, Sonateric has been pretty prevalent. We've been seeing it coming up. It's a little bit harder to execute at this level, even though most of these players for Army Esports are Diamond. As far as Twisted Sin, they're Gold and Platinum. Can still be hard to execute on. But one of the things that we've seen is the prevalence of the shielding or Enchantress style supports coming out that are going to have this like protect the ADC composition. So I look to see a lot of plays coming from the ADC, but now we don't have to speculate because we're going to get into picks and bans.
Absolutely.
So Army Esports is going to be on your blue side of the map. They will have first ban as well as first pick. Twisted Sin Esports is going to be on your red side. While they don't get first pick, they will have last pick and be looking to counter. And we see a Soraka ban coming out very early, targeted over at D-Tub.
Yeah, so D-Tub has played Soraka in the majority of his games this year. He's sitting at about, check that out and take that away.
Yeah, he's got a 51% win rate in this season, about a 1.9 KDA, a little bit low, something that you don't really want to see all the time. But now they're going to take the Yasuo away from the mid laner, which is, I believe, Manatee Waffles could be pointed to MCQ2 because we see that pitch flexed on either side.
Yeah, I think that's actually geared more towards MCQ2. He does have a 50% win this season with Yasuo, with about 70 games played up in the top lane.
Yeah, with that many games played and having that kind of track record, it really shows a mastery of the champion. So Army Esports is going to do well to go ahead and respect that pick. We also see over on the other side for Twisted Sin, we saw the Karma and the Zoe. The Karma, even though it can be played, it's become a triple flex pick with being able to go top tank Karma, which is the worst meta I've ever seen in my life, mid lane or the support. It's just been so strong, and you can buff your ADC, and they do not want to let a guy like talented for Army Esports get rolling.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that Karthus ban come out. I thought he'd kind of fall, but I guess they still are kind of afraid of seeing that, and they're going to ban it out.
Yeah, they're going to ban the Karthus. That's directly pointed over at Manatee Waffles. Manatee Waffles, while he is gold this season, has been a Masters player in the past, and that's been on the back of Karthus. He was a very prevalent Karthus player, knows the mechanics, knows that champion in and out. While you may think he might just be a press R and win champion, he does have some more mechanical play as he has a lot of skill shots to deal with. But we see an early Jarvan coming out for the side of Army Esports, and they're really looking to prioritize that heavy jungle pick.
That also might be a pick to take away from Hato. He is a Jarvan main, with his win percentage on Jarvan this year sitting at 71. They're probably also taking that just to get that away from him.
Yeah, Hidden definitely no slouch on that Jarvan. He plays a lot of Lee Sin. With the Taric being locked in, it's interesting to see if we're going to get the Sona coming out on the other side, or if it's just going to be Taric by itself. Taric is not a terrible support as compared to Sona currently. Sona can just be bursted so easily that if they were to take Sona first in that round, they would have essentially lost the draft right away. But we see the Taric, we see the Sejuani. We know that we have very good synergy between those two champions. And now a Kai'Sa lock-in, which is going to go over to the Talented.
So let's see how they round out this last pick before the next set of bans. See what position they try to fill here. If they try to put in their support so they can lock their bot lane in, or if they want to blind pick a top laner or a mid laner.
Yeah, we actually will see the Lux, and that can be flexed to the mid lane. We more than likely will see It's Me That's OP on that champion. Speaking of OP, that is 100% OP pick right now. You can go Guardian or Aftershock on that champ. It does well into the range matchup or the melee matchup. So with Taric, you're more than likely going to see Lux go in for the Aftershock, be able to survive that all in. And now we see an Orianna coming out. So we see a very team fight centric composition coming forward for Twisted Sin.
Yeah, they're locking in a lot of CC in that first part of the draft.
Yeah, tons of CC. You have Sejuani that is a half decent ball delivery system for the Orianna. Can take that command protect, can go ahead and get in and try to get you that big shockwave. But now we're going to see the next round of bans coming out. We will see the Vladimir. So they believe that they want to get Porkchop off some of his most prevalent champs and make sure that he can't take over this game. And it's going to be tough because Porkchop is a guy that's very flexible in his picks. So Army Esports coming down to the wire here for the last ban. It will be a Vayne pointed over at Steaming Bath. They want to make sure that they take away any kind of Kai'Sa counters. Normally Vayne can just go fairly even, but Kai'Sa really wants to just be able to farm it out. She does have a little bit more of a early game priority than Vayne, but once they both start to scale, it becomes who can auto attack the fastest. So they don't want to get into that matchup. So now an Ahri ban going over towards Alacrity. Alacrity has been playing this champion a lot. He's been doing it with the Glacial Augment, going for that Twin Shadows or the Hextech GLP build. And now the last thing that's going to come out is going to be a Rumble ban from Army Esports, which I'm surprised by because they have been favoring the Rumble lately.
Well, MCQ2, their top laner, Rumble is his main. He's got about 85 games played with 60% win rate on up so far this season, so that's definitely a targeted ban towards him.
Yeah, he showed a lot of success. One thing I'm surprised by is that they did not ban out the Gnar, who he has played a lot of, and it might be because they feel like Porkchop has a counter to this pick. So we'll see what Army Esports decides to lock in the last two picks. It will be a Syndra for Alacrity in the mid lane, who can absolutely destroy his lane opponent on this champion. Between that champion and Zed, the guy has so many games on it. And when you watch him play, you're able to see the proficiency that he has on those champions. And so Army Esports with the final pick, and it's going to be possibly the Jax here for Porkchop. Jack's a pretty decent pick into Gnar, is able to chase him down, but he's maybe rethinking his options. It will be an Aurelia. Is going to get beat up early, but man, if he gets a chance to scale, he might just absolutely dominate some people.
Yeah, he'll definitely get a chance to get in there and hopefully get through those tanks and get to the back line. That's the reason I think they're going with the Aurelia, is she can dash around, avoid some of that CC that Twisted.
Yeah, so we start to look down the lines, and these team compositions are starting to shape themselves out. The Aurelia into the Gnar I'm interested by, because if the Aurelia can survive that Gnar harass coming from the multiple boomerangs, the hyperprots coming off and things like that, it's going to be a interesting matchup in the top because they've kind of counterpicked himself, but we'll see how he does with it. So as we get into this team composition, we're going to do a quick rundown of some of the players that are in this game. So you get to know a little bit about them, feel kind of connected to the person that you're watching, understand where they're coming from, what they do. Just like we said with Military Gaming League, every one of these guys is either active duty reserve or a veteran. So we'll go ahead and run that down real quick. And I'm going to start with the Army Esports side. It's a side that I'm more familiar with. I cast most of their games and produce a lot of their streams. But Porkchop in the top lane, he is a active duty Army soldier. He's a Fortune Hotel early warning systems operator. He's stationed out of Fort Sill. He got to go to PAX with the team. Got to meet General Milley there. He is currently D4 in solo. The highest he's ever been is D1. He loves to play Kled, but this time he'll take the Aurelia.
All right, and going against him in the top lane is MCQ2. He is in the Army. He's a 12B combat engineer. He's been on active duty for 2 years, currently stationed out of Fort McCoy. One of his fondest memories is graduating OSUT at Fort Leonard Wood. Currently, he's sitting in Platinum 2. His highest rank ever is Diamond 4. And his favorite champs are Gnar, Rumble, and Yasuo.
Yeah, so when we look over in the jungle for Army Esports, it's going to be Valencia. He's in the Army. He's a 25 Bravo. He deals with computers all day, so he's in his zone right now, getting to play. He's been in the Army for 3 years. He's currently in California. His fondest memory is interesting. It's seeing my body change and the better over the course of my military career. He's still 130 pounds soaking wet, so a fairly interesting statement from him. But now I'll kick it to you for the jungler for the side of Twisted Sin.
So I'm going against him in the jungle for Twisted Sin is Hato. He is U.S. Navy and Intel. He's been on active duty for about 1 year, currently stationed at Fort Gordon. His fondest memory is playing in the Heroes of the Dorm tournament while he was at UConn before he joined the military. He's currently Diamond 2. His highest rank is Diamond 1, and his favorite champs are Lee Sin and Elise.
Yeah, and so now we get the chance to go over and look at our mid laner, Alacrity. He's in the Army. He's a 68 Whiskey Combat Medic. Been in for 2 years. He's at Fort Bliss. His highest rank he's ever been is a D1 in solo queue. He loves mid lane. He's a Zed and Syndra main, but also has a affinity for the Ahri and Orianna.
Yep, and going against him in the mid lane is going to be Awful. He's an Army, a 35N signal intelligence analyst. Been in for 7.5 years, currently at Goodfellow. His fondest memory is being stationed in Seoul, Korea, and traveling the Pacific. He's currently Plat 2. His highest rank has been Master, like you said before, and his favorite champs are Karthus, Twisted Fate, and Ahri.
Then down on the ADC for the Army Esports team is going to be Talented. He's a 79 Romeo, which is a recruiter. He's been in for 8 years. He's currently stationed in Wisconsin. His fondest memory is getting to meet up with the esports team over at PAX East. He's currently D4. His highest that he's ever been is D1 in seasons 4 and 5, and he likes to play a lot of Draven.
And he will be going against Steaming Bath. He's Army 15R Apache crew chief. He's been on active duty for 4 years, stationed at a Fort Drum. He doesn't have a fondest memory, so maybe we need to make some of this tournament. His highest season rank is Plat 1. His current rank is Plat 1. And his favorite champs are Vayne, Kaisa, Caitlyn, Ezreal, and Ashe.
Then in the support role for the Army Esports, you're going to have It's Me, that's OP. He's in the Army. He didn't give us his MOS, so I'm going to say he's a 75 Delta Tiny Dancer. He's been in the Army about 1 year. He's also stationed at Fort Bliss. He loves to play Pike, and his favorite memory is this bio that I just gave for him.
All right, he is going up against D-Tub, also in the Army, 35N Signal Intelligence. He has been on active duty for 2 years, stationed out of Fort Campbell. His fondest memory is graduating from basic training in AIT. His current season rank is D2. His highest rank is D1. And his favorite champs is all of them.
Is all of them. The guy does play a lot of champs, has a very massive champ pool. But with that, we are into the game and we are on to the Rift. No more talking about the summoners. We're only going to talk about the champions, and we're going to see where we're going to go from here. Army Esports, likes to invade, and they're going to do it over up on that red side. But it looks like the side of Twisted Sin is just going to play a slow early game.
Yeah, so we see Twisted Sin go over to their blue buff and set up. We do have some engages coming down right here in mid lane.
Yeah, catching out Manatee Waffles, a quick Q is going to come in for Porchop. He hasn't blown the flash yet. There is going to be the barrier, one summoner blown, but at least a short cooldown compared to that flash.
Yeah, absolutely. He was lucky to get away with just having an easy first blood if they would have wanted to burn some flashes in there to follow him through.
Yeah, not willing to overcommit at this point in time, and Army Esports does back off that invade. We'll just get deep vision, and now we're going to have mirrored jungler clears for the side of Twisted Sin and Army Esports, with both junglers starting up blue.
Yeah, so, and then bot lane, Lux and Kaisa were sitting in that bush hoping to maybe get some. They came in a bush, but
yeah, that's one of their favorites to live for that early harass. D-Tub taking a little bit of harass himself, so we'll see who's able to get priority. One thing to note in this bot lane, one of the biggest advantages that you can seize upon in the early game is the early level 2. So that comes after the first minion wave and then killing the first 3 melee minions. So we'll see who's going to be able to get that advantage. And right now, an early gank up by Valencia on MCQ2 is able to burn that flash, and that's going to be a long 5-minute cooldown that he has to remember that he is exposed to another gank.
Absolutely. Sonar's going to have to play a little bit more passive now. This gives really a good chance to take advantage and get some farm early game where she would get out poked by the ranged Gnar.
And again, we see some good trading going back and forth. Now MCQ2 getting a good trade onto Porchop, but has to remember with that summoner spell down, he is in a disadvantageous position. Oh, good stun comes from
the
yeah,
nice
there's
stun.
No more barrier. He just has to flash in. He's not going to do it. He's playing safer now, but that means no summoners for Manatee Waffle.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that's going to put him at a big disadvantage. It's going to leave him for the next couple minutes with no summoners either way.
Oh, first blood is going to go over to the Hado with a well-timed gain coming up for Porchop for playing too aggressive with no vision. That's going to be a good amount of money going over to the side of Twisted Sin. And now that advantage that was built in top lane might be blown, but actually Porchop teleports right back in.
Yeah, so he's going to be right for a return gank for that to just come right back.
Yeah, Talented summoned into the turret, but they're going so ham over on the Sivir. They're not going to be able to get the kill. D-Tub looking for the follow-up damage on Talented, not able to find it. Means that no kills go over, but that will be a heal burned for the side of the Sivir.
Yeah, and Jarvan is moving down to the bot side of the map. They're going to look to push this wave in and maybe get a dive on her tower here.
Yeah, right now, Twisted Sin Esports is not thinking about this. The spell shield's going to come out. That means there's no spell shield for the follow-up damage. A flash in from Talented means that he's going to be able to get the kill. D-Tub now left on his lonesome. He's under turret. There's going to be no knockup to come through. Talented eats a turret shot, and that will dissuade the rest of this dive more than likely.
Yeah, I don't think they were going to be able to do it. That wave came through, so they're going to push out underneath. They're just going to try to hold him there so he can't back.
Yeah, gonna hold them. They're gonna see if they maybe want to make the dive. They'll have to juggle the aggro just so correctly. And so now it looks like they're wanting to make this happen. Valencia wants to do it. A flash from D-Tub is going to miss Valencia. That means that there's going to be nowhere else to go. That's going to be D-Tub going down, and that's 2 over Talented on this Kaisa. The place that you want your hyper carry to be is in a position that is leading.
Absolutely. Getting those 2 kills on the Kaisa is going to be a huge benefit. She's going to hit that first Sivir. And the one thing you want to do with a Sivir is you got to stay ahead of her.
Yeah, do not want to get behind that ADC that is able to just deal damage over and over with those ricochets and the boomerang blade. But right now, Lackery looking to get some damage, is going to be able to find that sun, not going to be able to find anything else, but he does have the level advantage as well as the farm advantage. And Army Esports making a pretty large farm advantage across the map.
There's a gank coming mid.
Yeah, Porchop actually looking to get the kill in top lane, but now Lackery has the flash out of the way. He's able to get the stun, which is going to buy him some time. A flash from Hado is going to do nothing because he actually failed it, but the speed up from the command dissonance is going to get the distance, and Hado will be able to take him down. He is 2-0 right now in the Sejuani, showing a very good mastery of this champion. go. Army Esports looking to possibly trade in this bot lane. Talented not going to find the W on anybody for right now. It's me that's OP is going a little bit aggressive, able to get the root, and they want to get in on this. There's the Ignite. There's going to be the damage. That's going to be Talented on killing spree. Now he is 1v1 versus D-Tub. The stun is going to land, but I don't know if it's going to be anything else. Here comes the last proc. Not going to be able to get the damage. Tarek a little bit too tanky at this point in time.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to 1v1 a Tarek at this point of the game. He's just, his base stats and his tankiness are so amazing.
Yeah, in a very tanky position at this point in time. So, you know, not afraid of anything. But when we go ahead and if you look at the gold lead, you can see that there's already almost a 1K gold lead for this Kaisa, which you start to worry about because as both of these are late game champions, if Kaisa is able to get there, you know, almost 10 minutes before you, you're going to have a hard time. Alacrity getting damage on the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's a very early dragon taken. And that's definitely going to help them out with this early push that and early lead that they've built.
Yeah, one of the best traits you can get, that Infernal, getting that extra amount of damage. Alacrity actually going to pull that blue buff over the wall. Little cheeky play, able to keep it for himself and get the steal on that large buff.
That's one of my favorite things to do with Syndra is just to go in when a red or a blue buff and just go ahead and just pull it over the wall so you can have it.
Every once in a while he'll take that pool level 1 and he'll just grab it from the enemy jungler over the wall just to reset it. And now Porchop looking to go in, does have access to the ultimate. Has to remember the Meganar is going to come up soon though. He decides to pull off that play and it's probably because that rage bar was a little bit too high.
Yeah, if he would have dove under, he could have got that rage stunned up under tower, and that could have been.
Oh, but Alacrity's here with a well-timed run. Here comes the ultimate. That's going to be a flash. That's 3 tower shots eaten. Now a stun onto Porchop might mean that he goes down, but now he's in a bad position. Hado's looking to get the 1v2. Is he going to be able to find it? Porchop's getting the damage, though. He's got the Tiamat. He might be able to reset here. The Q is still on cooldown. Will not be able to find that kill. Orianna is roaming to that side as well. So Manatee Waffles will be able to try to protect his jungler, but Valencia is coming
up as well. Yep.
Yeah, the Flawless Duet is going to be able to land on Manatee Waffles, going to buy Porchop a little bit of time. They do not have vision of Valencia coming in. He was not spotted. Here comes the damage. There goes the shockwave. That's going to be an auto attack, and that's a shutdown going over the Orianna, and Valencia just watched it happen from the sidelines.
Well, I think in that case, he knew that if he would have jumped other than take damage and maybe give them the opportunity to chase. So that might be a good.
Able to get a kill, but a shutdown goes over to the side of D-Tub. D-Tub trying to get some damage, but it's me that's OP on the Lutz, just has a little bit too much right now. So shutdown does go over to Twisted Sin, but it is on the Tarek, and it is at the expense of Talented having 4 kills and an assist already.
Yeah, he's still going to be super far ahead in this lane. Has a small, well, actually a 15 CS lead. So on top of the extra kills, that's definitely going to lead to a bigger item spike way earlier.
Yeah, 15 CS lead, but a 1.2k gold lead at this point in time. Has already finished the Manamune. If you are not used to this Kaisa build, it has become fairly meta. It lets you hit your Q evolve much faster, and then you can go straight into the Gensus and finish out that E evolve as well. So we now always just see Porchop trying to clear under turret, but MCQ too trying to give him the hands as well and not let him do it for free.
Actually, that's one of the good advantages of Aurelia at this point in time is that he can poke while puts on her tower. Just keep pinging her with boomerangs.
Yeah, Tarek all comes out, they go invulnerable. Steaming Bath is going to have to trade this well, but it's me that's OP is able to get the lockdown, and that means Talented can get the kill. But here comes Sejuani. Hado is once again in the right position at the right time. Can he make the gank happen? He's going to try to get the slow, but you can't slow that bear. But the ultimate's going to come out from Hado as well. Pops the flare, gets a little bit of BM, but he's going to end up paying for it. D-Tub has to flash that away. Here comes the teleport coming from Alacrity, or from Porchop. He wants to get in as well. 1Q, 1 auto is going to do it. They're going to be able to lock down the Sejuani in place, but Porchop does not have to reset in the queue. That means the fight is going to end for now.
Yeah, that was a great fight. There was good rotations there. Jungle coming in on both sides, and then double TPs used to get down there in that bottom lane.
Yeah, Manatee Waffle's looking to go in on Alacrity here. Alacrity has no mana, and now here comes Valencia with the huge flash EQ over the wall. A flash from Alacrity is going to keep him safe. There goes the barrier, but the Ignite is ticking down. That means Valencia is able to get the kill on Manatee Waffles, but well played by both mid laners, showing their mechanical prowess. And once again, Hato is going to come looking for this game, but maybe Talented has sniffed it out. Now he decides to just go in. He's trying to get the damage onto Steaming Bath, uses the Killer Instinct to get the distance, but cannot find it, and that means that they're able to take down Talented for a third time.
Yeah, and again, Twisted Sin is just rotating very well. They're responding to everything all over the map and quickly, so they're being able to trade kills even when they've been caught out in a bad position by the quick rotations.
And so It's Me That's OP is actually going to get stunned up, has stepped out of position, but Valencia is here to counter this. And there goes the ultimate from Lutz trying to get the final spark, but not able to get the damage quite yet. E-Tub starting to go low. A flash in from Steaming Bath, but there goes the root, and that's going to be almost good enough. They're able to take down D-Tub. Steaming Bath ends up taking a turret shot, but is going to stay alive for now. Hato, once again, right place, right time. The dude is all over it. Every NCO would be happy to have that soldier on his side because he is always right place, right time, right uniform. The dude is looking good this game. 5-0-1 on Sejuani.
Yeah, he's going to start to get big. He's now getting hungry, looking for another one. Coming up mid, seeing if they can catch out that Syndra pushing up on this lane.
Yeah, looking to punish some of these mistakes, and Alacrity having some uncharacteristic position mistakes. 0-3-2 on the Syndra at this point in time. We have a very high-paced game with 11 versus 11 kills, 22 kills before the 13-minute mark. Now we see the Sejuani ultimate coming out. They're able to get the catch on Alacrity. He gets the stun. He presses the R, is not able to get the damage. It's Me That's OP is here to try to follow, but they will not find the counter kill. And now the teleport has come in for MCQ2. He has the Narbar charge. He's going to be able to transform. There's the stun. There's the wall up into the wall, and there goes Talented. His life is for forfeit as he falls, and that means the Drake is going to be on the board for the side of Twisted Sin Esports.
Yeah, and I don't think that Valencia can sneak in there. He might try to come in, but I don't think there's any way he can get in.
Yeah, he's not going to live for too much more. It's not to be worth trading your life for that Ocean Drake. So they're just going to go ahead and back off for now. All the while, though, they did leave the port shop in the top lane on this Aurelia, so we'll get a decent amount of turret plates, but Gnar will be up there to answer.
Yeah, so she got that down to 1, so that gives her a good advantage. Tarek and Sivir are down there, kind of trying to even out that bottom turret, so taking those plates as much as they can to keep that even.
Yeah, one thing to consider is just looking at the farm advantage for Porkchop in the top lane, 126 to 86 at this point in time, as well as 4 turret plates. So those 4 turret plates are going to be worth, almost 650 gold plus all that farm advantage. And that's why we see him at a 1.3k gold lead right now.
Yeah, so Gnar's been doing a lot of roaming and leaving the lane, but it hasn't really paid off too much. He's gotten 2. That's about it.
Yeah, and we see the switching of It's Me That's OP showing up right there. Now Porkchop looks to go in. He's able to use the ultimate and is able to close the distance, able to get the flawless duet. There is the wall up, but here comes Valencia. That's going to be him locked into the cage. NCQ2 is going to try to turn this around, but not going to be able to find it as the Army Esports is able to take down the top laner. All the while, though, they lose first turret down in the bot lane.
Yeah, and Twisted Sin did rotate up to see if we can continue this fight.
Oh, good shockwave comes out of Manatee Waffles, but now the cooldowns are not going to be on his side. They're able to take him down. That's going to be a shutdown going to Valencia. They're looking to chase down Hato. He has a large bounty on his head, but the rest of his team is in tow. So that means Army Esports will pull off the play.
Absolutely. Now we got a big fight getting ready to happen. They're going to back off.
Yeah, they look to try the reset here. They know that the side of Army Esports is looking to also match that collapse in the mid lane. Porkchop once again left on his own in the top is going to clear the waves with the Q. The Tiamat plus Q combo means that waves just evaporate when Aurelia gets in front of her.
Yeah, Aurelia's getting to this point now where she's going to be able to push waves so quickly and put a lot of pressure on. Much if they're going to split push her.
Yeah, so we see that Aurelia getting to that T-Force power spike, has that one item power spike, will do very well once she is able to get the Starets Gauge, which probably is going to be next on the docket for the side of Port Shop. Now they're looking to maybe find some picks, but start to look down the item builds, and we see Sivir is getting close to completing that Infinity Edge as well as the Essence Reaver.
Yeah, and that's going to be her major power spike is that first Infinity. So once she has that, she's going to
an ultimate comes out from Port Shop. He's looking to get on Manatee Waffle. So much damage. A good shockwave is going to buy some time, but a flash comes in and it's not going to do anything. And now the other side is going to be a 4v3 as they're looking to turn this fight. D-Tub is going to go ahead and try the front line, but he's starting to go so low. He's got about half a health bar left. It looks like J4 on the back side of the pit is able to get out, and that means that the fight is going to reset from here.
Yeah, there's not anything that they can grab on this, so both teams realizing that they're not going to be able to take that objective, they're going to back off.
Yeah, with both teams deciding to reset, we can take a quick look at the gold, and we see that Talented is sitting on almost 13k gold at this time, so maybe want to back, but Valencia decides to go in. That's going to be a call to start the engage. Hato is starting to take some damage. He is frontline. He is tanky. He is fed at this point in time. MCQ2 is here on the Gnar, but the Taric ult has come out. That's going to be the call for the engage. They're able to get onto Alacrity. They're going to lock him in place. The CC train is too good for the side of Twisted Sin, and they will take down the mid laner for Army Esports.
Yeah, once they were able to get that pick, he didn't have a chance. They just blew him up.
And we see with that pit, that means that they're just going to be able to pressure that mid lane tier 1 turret, and they will take that one down. Port Shop did push the bot lane to the turret, but they will back off after that play.
Yeah, and that's going to be the advantage of Twisted Sin's team comp is they're going to be able to find those easy picks. If they're roaming, let's see, picks are going to come really easy.
Yeah, now, we have that Talented is still has not backed at this time. He just now has 1600 gold in the inventory. That means that with that back, he does have the Gensu's Rage Blade as well as the Man Immune, which should transform shortly. At that point in time, he will be at a pretty serious power spike. So I look for Army Esports to maybe start having the favor in some of these team fights until Sivir can get that zeal.
Yeah, so as we start transitioning into this team fighter phase of the game, I want to see which team is going to really try to push and get the vision down. Right now, the entire bottom side of the blue jungle is totally blind with no vision from either team. So
yeah, it looks like they decided Twisted Sin looked at group in the mid, but the Rift Herald being dropped in the top lane is going to draw their attention. Army Esports isn't going to do anything else with that play, though. They're just going to leave it there. It's not going to be able to take the turret. Just MCQ2 is going to be here early enough to stop that play.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
yeah, and usually when you drop Rift Herald like that, knowing one, the timer's running out on it, or two, they're just trying to keep the pressure on that lane so that that lane opponent can go down and roam and help somewhere else.
Yeah, now we see that the plays are starting to come through, and Port Shop wants to go in onto the other top laner, but Valencia has to get out of the way. He's not going to be able to do it. He's going to use the ultimate, but he's going to go down. There is the ultimate coming from Sejuani, but they were locked into the Jarvan ultimate, not able to get out. Here comes the shockwave. The two-man shockwave is going to be huge. They're able to take down Alacrity. It's me that's OP, gets away with barely any of his life, but Talented is here to try to clean up this fight. Ultimates are down, but so are the team members for Army Esports, and that means no more follow-up can come. And Army Esports is getting picked apart as their vision is just not on point this game.
No, that was a great catch by Sivir to end up that team fight, and they were able to push that down, get a turret, and now they're going to reset and see what the next objective is for them to take on it.
Yeah, and we see Alacrity is 1k gold down right now at this point in time. 0-7-3 on one of his most favored champions, so a very uncharacteristic look for him. And all the credit to Manatee Waffles for surviving some of those games, being able to make those plays happen, and having that shockwave ready and on point.
Yeah, that was a great two-man shockwave to lock that down and really swing that team fight in their direction.
So now as we look down at the items, we can see that Sivir does have the Zeal completed. this probably is going to be the 100% crit strike chance Sivir that we've been seeing coming up. So it's Spectre, they do tons of damage, and even those ricochets are just going to be absolutely melting everybody. Alacrity, once again caught out by the ultimate of Manatee Waffles, is able to escape thanks to the shield of its meat that's OP. But man, every time he is being caught when he steps out of base. And now here's the ultimate from Sivir. They're looking to run this one down. A good stun is going to stop Sejuani from coming in, but it's me that's OP is going to go down to the crit. He loses almost half his health bar to one single auto attack from Steaming Bath, and that means the Sivir is online. Teleport from MCQ2 is going to come in. Valencia is going to get caught out. There's the Sejuani ultimate. He goes in and it's going to lock him into the pit just by time. Talented has to take the blast cone over the wall, and Army Esports has been sent running for the hills.
Yeah, once again, Twisted Sin was able to just carries first and then chasing down the players that they needed to chase down. With that late teleport coming in, they really want to push for this inhibitor tower.
And we see that, you know, all the credits to Twisted Sin, who lost the early game but have been playing to their team fight advantage. But now here's the ultimate coming from Tarek, but they're going to be able to take him down. That immunity is going to go on to 3. MCQ2 is looking to get the Rage Bard built. Porkchop is wanting to go in but cannot find the angle at this point in time. Now here comes the counter attack from Army Esports. There's going to be the stun. There's going to be 2 more shots. That's going to be the Major Nar, but Alacrity able to take down MCQ2. Can they find the rest of the team? They're looking to close the distance, but I don't think they have it. They are too fast at this point in time. And they might be no, I'm not going to make the Too Fast Too Furious joke. I'm going to stop myself. I'm just going to quit right there. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. And that means a Baron turn is coming from the side of Army Esports. They have Valencia in tow, but this will be a 50-50 Baron as they look to pressure this, because Sejuani is up and Halo is here, and he is the same level as Valencia. So we'll be a same level smite here. It's going to be very close, but Army Esports decides they do not want to take this risk. If they lose Baron, they lose the game.
Yeah, absolutely. That was probably a good call by them to pull out and not go for that Baron. If they would have given that up, even in with the way that Twisted Sin has been pushing in on their turrets, that probably would have been the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a very touch and go for Army Esports, as they are not in the driver's seat. So if they lose a team fight, that could just mean they lose the game, because the amount of weight clear and pressure that Twisted Sin has started to put on is just insurmountable when you lose that kind of team fight. So we see that they do have some lane pressure in the bot lane, which is what they want for this next Baron fight. And now we see
Twisted Sin should be engaging on vision on the backside of the Dragon Pit. And now they're getting that pretty much uncontested.
Yeah, no way to pressure that Ocean Drake. I don't think Army Esports wanted to make that call whatsoever. So they will just go ahead and back out there. But now they have started to move over towards the Baron, and while they might not start it, they will be able to get vision superiority in this pit.
So you see Twisted Sin's just clearing out the vision around the pit, making sure that they have control.
Yeah, Army Esports has no safe way in. They have a dark path leading through their jungle to try to check this Baron, but it will be a reset coming out for this side of Twisted Sin at this point in time.
Yeah, so now US Army Esports is going through, and they were going to do the same thing that Twisted Sin just did and try to clear out control of the Baron pit so that they have the advantage next time there's a fight.
Both the teams, you know, even though Twisted Sin got the jump to go ahead and get over that Baron pit first, Army Esports still has a decent amount of vision around that Baron, with 1 ward in the pit and then 2 in the river. So they will be safe, and it will be Twisted Sin taking the bat for now. So, you know, Game of Tribute, as you start to look at this fight, what does Army Esports have to do in this next team fight to finally come out on top with the team fight win?
Well, they need to get the Aurelia past that front line. If they can get rid of one of the carries, especially if they can get rid of Manatee Waffle and avoid getting caught into a multi-man shockwave, then they should be okay. They should be able to sustain long enough. But the main thing is going to be avoiding the CC and trying to get to that Sivir and get her out of that fight as soon as possible.
Yeah, and so now we see the side of Twisted Sin is starting to make that fallback pattern over to the Baron, and the pings are coming down from Army Esports. They know that they've walked through the pit, but they're able to sniff out one of these wards. They are able to get locked down on the D-Tub, but he's still just a little too tanky this one time. But Valencia wants to find Manatee Waffles. There goes the ultimate. Might be in a bad position. That's going to be a flash, a good two-man route coming out of the Lutz. Alacrity once again caught out, but here comes the ultimate from Porkchop. They're cleaning up this fight. Sipper is able to go legendary. They're not able to get to any of these carries. They haven't killed anybody. Finally, Alacrity has used the killer instinct to get to the backline. There's a shutdown onto the Sipper. Hado is in a bad position. There's going to be the flawless duet for the Sun. Talented now. It has to be on the run. They're going to take the blast drone over the wall. MCQ2 is going to proc the Baron. This is going to start to go low. This is looking dicey. Hado is able to get the kill over onto Talented, and that's going to end up being a 2 for 3 for Twisted Sin Esports coming out on the side of that team fight.
Yeah, Twisted Sin did come ahead and Champions a lot left alive at the end of that fight, but they really don't have anything left that they can really do with the on the map at this point. The mid lane was pushed up. They might be able to get that top tower, but they definitely won't be able to engage on Baron at this point.
Yeah, and at that fight, you know, they tried to get onto D-Tub and just not able to kill him. The healing that comes out of the Tarek is absolutely insane. And we see a Ardent Sensor, which is very strange for Tarek, but definitely did a lot of healing and added a lot of damage to that fight. But they were able to take down Steaming Bath, which was a 1,000 gold shutdown going over the Port Shop.
Yeah, and that definitely was what they needed to get that shutdown onto Porkchop. That definitely helps him get stronger and stronger on this Aurelia.
Yeah, and man, just Hado is having a heck of a game. 7-0-1 at this point in time on the Sejuani. His cooldowns are coming back up. Porkchop is getting the ultimate, though. He wants to try to go in, but on the other side, we see so much lockdown. Ooh. Army Esports is just getting cleaned up in this fight. There's going to be 2 for nothing as Porkchop goes down, as well as Alacrity. That means the wave clear is gone. The damage is gone, and that should be Baron over to Twisted Sin.
And that's one of the big advantages that Twisted Sin is having with this. They were able to split that into 2 fights. Odyssey both ends.
Yeah, now Valencia is sent running for the hills. He's trying to get away. They're trying to make sure they can keep him out of the pit. They do not want a steal coming through. They see the Lutz throwing out the Qs, trying to get a little bit of vision. There will go the control ward that get that true vision. Baron down to 3k health, going down to 2, make it close to 1. There goes the ultimate. That's going to be a secure coming up for Hado. Now Army Esports just has to run to try to stop the hemorrhage. They won't be able to find it. Alacrity is just now on the map. He's the only 68 whiskey on the team. He's the only one that knows how to tourniquet, apparently, because everybody else is just bleeding kills over to the side of Twisted Sin Esports.
Wow, that was... I can't even follow up with that. That was such an amazing amount. Like the
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Because they are bleeding now.
Yeah, and so now we see Army Esports is in turtle mode, as the only thing that they can do is look to try to survive. They are trying to stop this tier 2 top lane turret being taken, but there's going to be no way to step up to that 4-man stack.
Yeah, they're going to be able to just pretty much push in and take what they want. What U.S. Army Esports needs to do at this point is just hold these waves as long as they possibly can until this Baron buff wears off, and then hope to maybe get a team fight that they can try to gain some advantage back in.
Yeah, but at this point in time, you still have a decent amount of time on the Baron buff, so it's going to be very hard for Army Esports to find anything. No teleport on Porkchop means that no surprise flank can come, and then Twisted Sin has done their homework, has done their tours. They've awarded the flank entrances. So Army Esports can only hope that they can, you know, maybe only lose 1 inhibitor here, but now they look to engage. Hado wants to get out there and get on the carries, but can't find it right now. A good stun and good flawless duet is going to buy Army Esports time.
Yeah, that was a good rejection of that push that they try to get in. Ooh, Manatee.
Manatee Waffle is just absolutely stomping Alacrity this game. Just a shockwave murders him. Here goes the ultimate coming out from the side of Porkchop. They want to get into this fight. They're trying to get on the carries, and now they're able to take down Jarvan. They're golden, and they're going to be safe for right now, and it's still going back and forth. 2 lost for the side of Army Esports means that they should just give up this inhibitor. There is no way to fight this team fight from here.
Yeah, once they hit that, once they got one out and popped that Terracle, it protected the whole team from anybody trying to come in and break that up. That was a done deal for them.
Yeah, Manatee Waffles did not take the back, and now the Peens are going down from Army Esports to chase them down, but they will not be able to find that kill. So one inhibitor lost for Army Esports, but they might call that a win at this point in time.
Yep, and it's me, it's OP is still trying to keep this harassed, getting that back and resetting the lane.
And so at this point in time, they're just going to go ahead and take the third Ocean Drake of the game. That's 4 Drakes over to the side of Twisted Sin, 1 over the Army Esports. And with that pickup, that means that Elder Drake is going to be the next Drake onto the map.
Yeah, and having 4 Drakes leading into the Elder, if U.S. Army Esports isn't able to find a way to that Elder Drake away, they are going to be really hurting if Twisted Sin can get that with four Drakes on top.
Yes, they look to go ahead and push this tier 2 turret down in the bot lane. They will do so, and they will do it uncontested, as Army Esports is going to be too weak to be able to step up to this line. They have a little bit of wave clear with the Sivert, but other than that, their wave clear is abysmal when Alacrity isn't nearby with the Syndra.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem with their team comp is they only really do 2 wave clear options. So if it's a team fight, oh, that was a nice stun.
Yeah, very nice stun by Army Esports, just stopping the backs there. You know, not going to be able to get a team fight off of it, but now once again, Alacrity caught out of position. Manatee Waffles being able to pitch up the kill. MCQ2 using the boomerang to slow him down. Hato is going to flash in. They want to end this game right here. Good killer instinct, but Talented is able to keep him safe, but D-Tub's going to pop the Terror Ultimate. That means the whole team goes immune. Steaming Bath flashes in. This might be the fight that ends it all. And Twisted Sin Esports has looked fantastic this game. They're going to take down another inhibitor, and they might try to end it right here.
And Jarvan went and got the charity turret mid.
Yeah, that's going to be the only thing that they get. It's going to be up to Porkchop. It's me that's OP and Valencia to be able to make this play happen. The ultimate's available for Porkchop. He's going to have to pop it. The Nexus is exposed. They use the wall up to get everybody away. They will try to get into the line. Porkchop wants to slice and dice his way through, but he will not be able to do it. Twisted Sin Esports takes down the Army in our first MGL League of Legends weekend match.
And great job by Twisted Sin. I think they won. As soon as that draft was over, they had so much CC, so many team fight engage with the Orianna and the Sejuani. Just a great team comp that they put together on that game.
Yeah, that was definitely a team playing to its win condition. They drafted team fight compositions, and they forced Army to team fight them at every step of the way.
Yeah, and they didn't panic when they fell behind a little bit in the lane phase. Esports did take advantage of their early lane pressure to get some good kills, but they did not panic and did a great job.
Yeah, it was very well played by both teams. They did a great job to, capitalize on their win condition, did very well to play to their strength. And with that, we're actually going to head over. We're going to talk to the jungler for the side of Twisted Sin, and we're going to have none other than our own Maria, curly hair Maria Lopez, talking to the jungler Hato from Twisted Sin. So guys, I'll go ahead and start it off. Hato, that was absolutely amazing. Crazy Sejuani play coming out from you in that last game. How did you feel about getting the Sejuani going into this matchup?
Honestly, our initial plan was we were trying to pick the Jarvan because between Valencia and I, we're both like some pretty big Jarvan players. So I don't know. It kind of got into my head. Like I kind of went into the game thinking that like, oh goddamn, I'm not playing like a comfort pick. But I don't know. We got some good picks like mid and like while they're like rotating and into top lane as well. So I just played off that essentially.
Okay, so we can see that your favorite champions are Lee Sin and Elise, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what made you pick Jarvan for this game?
Sejuani.
Sejuani, I'm so sorry.
So I actually considered the Lee Sin, but we were looking for like more of a team fight comp, like a mid to late game team fight comp. And Lee Sin could have been all right, but we were just going for the safe pick of Sejuani, some more hard CC, some more reliable CC for our team.
There was definitely a good amount of CC there.
Oh yeah.
What was your guys' game plan as you walked into this game? Was there a lane that you were really looking to punish?
Honestly, I saw Alacrity mid who picks Syndra. So I was just trying to pressure mid because once you get the summoner spells off of like a mobile control mage, they're pretty easy to abuse. So I just tried to work off of that. I got like a free like first blood top though, but yeah.
So this is kind of off topic. Well, not off topic, but not related to today's game. So we're just trying to see if you have any goals after your enlistment. Do you plan on going pro, if anything? Totally
Honestly,
random.
I wish like my dream job is to work in Reg's basement.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to be like his nanny, you know?
Seems like a pretty cool
dust his
job.
tables and stuff.
That's a pretty very specific thing that you've asked to do. Have you already applied for this job?
I've tried to. I've called him many times, but he hasn't responded. So if you know him or anyone out there know him, please help me.
They made me send in a casting reel, so maybe send in like a nanny reel of things that you can do, you know, like as like a nanny, like look, I cook very well, I clean up, I can teach
Yeah.
people things.
Of course. And I can
Yeah,
wear
I
like a
don't-
nice dress and everything, you know?
There you go. you gotta play the part. You gotta dress professional to get the professional job, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So with that, thank you very much to Hato. Very well played this game, man. I appreciate you coming
course.
on for the interview. After this,
having
we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. Then we're going to come back for a second game of the night where Grunto Esports is going to be taking on Flashpoint. So guys, stick around. We will be back in 10 minutes with the next draft. We will see you then.
Woo!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We are going to be getting into match 2 here shortly of the MGL League of Legends Weekend Tournament. Once again, my name is Andrew Mercy Taylor, and I am joined by James Gamer Tribute Johnson. Gamer, how did you feel about that first match of the day?
Oh, that was an awesome first match. Twisted Sin really put together a good team comp and just ended up doing everything they wanted to do and dominated that entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. They played to their win conditions and they're able to go. And now we're going to be able to see the second match of the day as Flashpoint is going to take on Grunto. But before we get there, one of the things that I want to go ahead and start to talk about is Military Gaming League, as well as the sponsors that came out today. So everybody that's watching, obviously you've probably been a part of Military Gaming League. If you just got here, thanks for tuning in. I'm also a brand new member to Military Gaming League. Shamshield came over and asked for casters from our Army Esports League of Legends Discord, and I was happy to sign up. I first was happy to sign up just because of the experience I was going to get. But when he came in and he started talking about the mission and the concept behind Military Gaming League, it was something that I felt like I could stand behind, and I agreed with, right? Because all of us shared gaming together. We've all shared being in the service together. We've been taken away from our families, have been in places that we haven't always wanted to be. We've dealt with things that other people don't have to do. And one of the things that we can all bond over is video games. So whether that's playing competitively, playing for fun, or just enjoying the games that we get to play, something that maybe you started as a kid and got into, or you got into later in your life, we get to share that now. We get to have that experience across all of our services, regardless of where you're serving or who you're serving with. And so one of the things that I want to talk about is the sponsors that have chosen to go out of their way and sponsor the Military Gaming League. And so if you want to be able to support those sponsors, feel free to. And those sponsors are going to be the first one is Boost Above, or boostabove.com. They're just boost mental toughness and leadership. They're all about the increasing your mental fortitude, being able to make sure that you're mentally in this space and the place that you want to be, and they'll help you get there by doing that. They'll have exercises for you to do online. They'll have some mentoring that you can do and things like that. So if you want to check them out, all you have to do is just go to boostabove.com, and then also you can check out Vertigear. Vertigear chairs are insanely comfortable. I wish I had one. I dream of Vertigear chairs. If I had a Vertigear chair, I would never dream because I would sleep so easy. I could just sleep in that thing. So if you want to go to Vertigear chairs, you can go check them out. They make the best gaming chairs in the industry. All you have to do is just go to vertigear.com and you can check out their gear. So with that, we're getting into the lobby. And as we start to get into this, into this next game, what are you expecting to see coming out of these teams?
After watching the first game, I'm not 100% sure what we're going to see. I'd like to see how this draft goes. I know U.S. Army Esports is probably the most cohesive team that we have, or who has been playing together for the longest time. So seeing how these teams come together, I know they have some subs and stuff going on. So we'll see what happens with these teams when they do their draft. Yeah, we see an early Mordekaiser band coming out of the side. I believe it's going to be Flashpoint. Flashpoint will be on your blue side. Grunto is going to be over on your red side. So early Mordekaiser ban, and with the rework, you might have to be a little bit worried. So they just go ahead and take that out, as well as the Kale. Yeah, Mordekaiser's sitting at about almost 55% win rate across all divisions, across all games. So getting rid of him as an early pick is a pretty safe selection. And now we see an Ari coming out for Grunto, going to ban that away from High over on the other side. And now the final ban is going to come out from the side of Flashpoint. They have banned out the Hecarim. They don't want to give that over to Lychee Red T. And they will also ban out the Rek'Sai. And, with Mordekaiser being viable in the jungle, that might be a triple jungle ban pointed over at Lychee. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to go with for this first pick. And Ashley is going to be a pretty safe top lane pickup for G-Flow, more than likely on that Cho'Gath. So we'll see where they decide to put that one.
And for right now, it's just going to go ahead and sit in the top lane. And a Trendemir is going to follow for Holotronics. A very interesting solo queue special getting picked up here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of team composition they're going to try to go with to build around with that Trendemir, or unless they're going to just have him stay up top with that Cho'Gath and make it a 4-on-4 game on the rest of the map.
Yeah, now we see the Leona being picked here, and one thing coming out from Grunto is being able to pit that support in that slot is very good for them, because they will be able to pit their ADC, and they can hide their jungle as well as their mid lane pick. If you do not take the ADC there, then the enemy team has the opportunity to pit their ADC and then ban out your bottom lane marksman. But we see a Lutz being picked up, more than likely gonna be the support Lutz for Bitter Vet, and then also Volibear. So we're looking at these teams that are a little bit less, we'll say, meta for that point in time. We don't see them as often, but they are very prominent solo queue pickups.
Yeah, and everybody might just be going, let's pick our best champ and make this a solo queue game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and so now it will be the Malzahar coming out. So, they will get the first pickup in the next round of picks. So the side of Flashpoint is not going to be able to ban out the ADCs like they were planning on, because they didn't take it in that last round of the draft. But now with the bans coming back through, we expect to see a lot of mid bans and marksman bans coming out.
Yeah, so Grunto should be banning out mid laners. Although they went with the Ashe, so getting rid of an ADC to start.
Yeah, getting rid of a very comfortable ADC. Ashe is one of those ones that can go down in the game and still be viable at all points, because the ultimate has so much utility in it that you can make a pick and turn a game on its head.
Yeah, absolutely. And now looking at this team comp with the Cho'Gath and Volibear, they could actually switch those out and switch who's going to go top, who's going to go jungle on that.
Yeah, would be possible to switch out. The volley would have a hard time into that Trendemir, and that slow down onto that volley is pretty gnarly, and then being able to whirl away. But now a Draven being picked up for Jit Rames. Jit Rames I've seen play quite a few times, a very competent marksman, very good at ADC. I expect him to be able to do a lot on that pickup.
Yeah, Draven is a champ that is, if you're comfortable and you're catching those axes, building those adoration stacks, he can get super OP super fast.
Yeah, and then the Jinx going to be picking up for Bovie on the other side. Jinx, if given the opportunity to scale into free fire from the back line, can absolutely destroy every single person on your team. So they're going to have to make sure they punish that immobile ADC early in the game. All right, now we see a Thresh. They'll go ahead and round it out for the side of Flashpoint, and it will be the counter pickup for the jungle if they want to find it. And this is one of those times where if Lychee Red Tea wants to take a hard farming, early invade jungler, you can absolutely punish a Volibear early in the game, because his clear speed isn't the best. His movement speed is low unless he's in that on all fours bear crawl. So he will do exactly that, and he takes the Draven. So Grunto Esports has a pretty brawl-heavy comp, but no frontline to speak of.
Yeah, they're going to just look to get in fights early and see if they can just out-damage, maybe avoid the knockups from the Cho'Gath, and see if they can just pick apart, get to Lux and Jinx super quick and just blow their team up.
Yeah, that mid lane Lux is a bit of a surprise. It ends up that Flashpoint ends up picking in order here. With the Cho'Gath top, the Volibear, and the Thresh, they do have a very good pit potential if they're able to get onto anybody. But if they get too far behind in this early game, it might be all for naught, because the side of Grunto can absolutely tear through your team.
Yeah, so let's go through and talk about some of the matchups we got going on here today and some of our players that are in this game. I'm going to start off talking about the top laner for Flashpoint Gaming, G-Flow. He is in the Army, Signal Support System Specialist, has been on active duty for 8 years. His duty station is, he's a veteran, so he did 8 years of active service. His fondest memory is blowing up converter boxes while trying to hook up things he shouldn't. His current season rank, he is not ranked this season. And his highest rank solo flex is gold 1. And his favorite champs are Cho'Gath and Vigar.
All right, interesting. I do not. Let's see. Holotrits looks like it's going to be a sub, so I don't have anything for him. So I'm just going to make it up. He is also in the army. He is a cook / weapon sergeant. He is lethal with the spatula. He is currently stationed in Fort Polk, which is, I've heard, super nice and like a resort. He is very happy to be there. His most played champion is actually Soraka, but he felt like playing the Tryndamere today.
Yeah, and so next we'll jump down to mid lane for actually, God, they have all subs, so I don't have any information on all these guys, so I apologize. I don't have Invincible Bloods or high.
So it looks like so I'm gonna go back. I'm sorry. Was told Holotrits is GE Chaos, so he's a infantry officer at Fort Benning. He is still very deadly with the spatula, just so everybody knows. And I'll go down to Lychee Red Tea. He's a 92. He's a automated logistics specialist. He's in a joint base Lewis McCord, and his fondest memory is going to Taiwan to see his home.
Okay, and so I have been told that I do have the information. Just a name change on our mid laner. Shady Santiago is high. He's Navy, a DC-3. Have been 4 years of active service, stationed at Naval Station Mayport. His fondest memory is seeing the Northern Lights in the middle of the ocean. Currently, he's Silver 3. His highest rank is Silver 1, and his favorite champs are Lux, Jinx, and Ezreal.
All right, and then going over to the other side for Grunto is going to be GE Loyalty. He is in the infantry for the Marine Corps, and then for the Army, he's been in for 7 years. He's currently at Fort Drum. His fondest memory is his son's birth. That's super sweet. He favors Kha'Zix and Orianna. His highest rank of all time. This I think it was a meme, but he's currently D4.
All right, so the jungler for Flashpoint, Invincibleds, is in the Army. He's a human resources, been in for 7 years, currently stationed at Fort Bragg. His fondest memory is sitting on the ground at St. Mir in a drop zone waiting for a bird to come take him out of there. His current season rank is silver. His highest rank is silver, and he likes Volley and Jarvan 4.
All right, down to Jen Rames. He is also in the infantry for the Army. He's over out of Fort Bragg. His fondest memory is moving out of the barracks. We all know that feeling. Jen Rames, you have spoken the truth, good sir. His favorite champion is Draven, and he's getting to play him today.
All right, and down at the ADC for Flashpoint, we got Bovey. He's in the Army. He's a signal support system specialist. Been in 8 years. Not a duty station. No fondest memory. So again, this is another person we got to make some fond memories for this. Current season or rank is Silver Scrub. His highest rank he put in Army. Go Army. And his favorite champs and roles are jungle and support with no champs listed.
All right, Broken Blade is going to be the support for the side of Grunto. He is a radiology specialist, so if you need some a little bit of radiation, go hit him up. He is currently Diamond 4 and Plat 3, hovering between Solo and Flex, and then his highest rank of all times was a Masters at 271 LP.
Yep, and the support, a Bitter Vet is an Army. He's a geospatial intelligence imagery analyst. He's been in 7 years. Duty station NA, or he won't tell us. His fondest memory is hiking the Denali for PT. Current season rank is silver, highest rank silver, and favorite champs and role. He likes to play Jinx and Brawl.
All right, so now we see some damage coming out as we are onto the Rift, and they are just trading back and forth. Bovey is going to eat the E from the Malzahar, take a little bit of that damage, and good trade coming out from the side of Grunto Esports.
And I got to give a shout out to Jick Rames for wearing the best Draven skin in all of League of Legends, the Draven.
Minions have spawned.
And I just hate that skin. I gotta be honest. I get it. I think it's cool. It's like, you know, it fits his entire persona of wearing a giant bobblehead of his own head. But God, I hate that skin. Not a fan.
It goes along with my personal favorite summoner icon, the Draven icon. I had that as my icon for like 3 years when it came out.
I'm surprised that you're not like a toxic Draven main at this point in time. You know, but everybody can change. You could be that guy that becomes a toxic Draven main out of nowhere. But we do see a brush chain coming up, and 50 cal sitting here, going to be able to get that stun. They're going to go right onto Bovie. Jit Rames is going to jump in. That's going to be a knight going down. That's going to be a flash over the wall, and that's going to be summoners burned for the side of Flashpoint. And that's going to give Grunto the early advantage in this lane.
So that was the cheese gank that we were looking for in the first game that we thought Twisted Sin was setting up for, but they went ahead and backed off. And this time Grunto pulled the trigger on that.
So now we see that we're just going to have some a little bit of easy farming back and forth. Looking at the jungle, it was actually a red into Wolf's Clear for Graves, and now it's taking the blue. So he will have the opportunity to make this early gank. But now 50 cal wants to go back in on Bovie, knows that he's flashed this. That means Jit Rames is going to try the flash in. One more reset's going to do it. He just needs another axe. He is catching him. He's tossing him. And now there's going to be the ignite. And that's going to mean he has to run for the hills and burn the heal. And man, Jit Rames, unfortunately, not able to get that kill. A very well-timed play by Bitter Vet is going to keep his team alive.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great play to just back him off, give it that little bit of knocking him out of auto attack range on the Jinx, which would have resulted in that first kill.
Yeah, between the Flay coming out huge for the Thresh, as well as the Aftershock proc coming out, means that he's going to keep his team alive. But now it looks like Lychee Red Tea has snuck in behind the enemy team, but he's actually just going to go ahead and take the Cruds for now. But they might look for a turnaround and a dive under this turret.
I think they spotted him when he came down through. It looked like they're aware that he was there. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's looking to do the damage. There's going to be the shot. There's going to be the kill. Maybe Bovie goes to 1 HP. That's going to be first blood over the Draven. He cashes out. Very well played by the side of Grunto. And everybody... Yeah, so everybody gets out of the play, which is absolutely insane. It looked like they were going to juggle that aggro in an unfortunate manner that would have meant that they died, but they actually end up living through it and very well died by the son of Grunto Esports.
Yeah, and up in the top lane, this Tryndamere has really got that early lane advantage. He's going to keep pushing Cho'Gath in over and over and over again until at least level 6, where he can come back and put some major damage down on it. Tryndamere.
Yeah, right now, just, Deflo having such a hard time in the top lane. Is down 15 farm at this point, and Holotrix is going to be able to just force him out of the lane if he wants to. Still has his potion. He's sitting on the Dorn Blade, so will have that life steal. So it's going to be a very hard lane for this Cho'Gath. He needs this wave to push in. He needs to not use any spells on this wave whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really hard even at this point for Cho'Gath to even get a decent freeze, and so that he can at least farm safely at the top.
Yeah, as we start to look around, we see the some farms differential coming in. The Malzahar doing very well in the mid lane. He's just doing Malzahar things, which is just shove the wave in constantly. But Lux is a pretty good answer to that. Able to clear out the void lanes pretty easily against the Malzahar. But this top lane has become pretty rough. Now let's go in the E Loyalty. G Loyalty has to flash out of the way as the Ignite was ticking down, and a flash follow from high would have meant certain death if he didn't make that distance.
So one of the things I'm interested to see in this game, and I don't remember if we saw it at all in the last game with all the CC that was on the board, but I didn't see anybody building any QSSs or any ways to get out of that CC, especially with the Lux and the Malzahar. Those are things that you're going to want to try to get away from.
Yeah, Holotrix was the recipient of a gank up in the top lane, ends up having to burn the flash. So now as we take a look at this bot lane, we can see that Jit Rames is wanting to trade onto Bovie. He's catching the axes. He's doing the damage. One more auto's going to do it. He's able to take him down. Now Bitter Vet's in a bad position. He's going to get locked in the place. There goes the flare. There goes the double kill. And Jit Rames is running away with this lane. He is already 1,500 gold ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, anytime you get a double kill with Draven, you got to spam that mastery mode out there. That's just part of what goes with his kit.
Yeah, just a typical Draven play at that point in time.
You got to be on the opponents at that point.
Part of me wishes that that last auto didn't kill the Thresh, and then we would have seen the the bad side of BMing. But Jit Rames does get the double kill. He still has a lot of gold in his pocket, over 1,600, and they're gonna be the recipient of this early Infernal Drake. Lux is looking to put some damage down, is trying to find the kill on it, but they're waiting for the E to time out, and that will be it, and they will take it down. And man, Toronto Esports off to the races in this game. 4 kills before the 7 minutes marks and an Infernal Drake.
Yeah, and this is going to be really big for them because they have definitely the more aggressive of the two teams. So getting out this early lead is just going to help them snowball that lead. It's going to be hard for them to get back into this one. Sorry.
Yeah, and here we go. They got a lockdown over on the Malzahar. Remember, G Loyalty has no flash, but is going to still be able to stay alive. Has no mana, though, so it's going to be very hard for him to stay in this fight.
And again, we see Tryndamere just repeatedly pushing this top lane over and over and over again.
Yeah, at this point in time, now here's the play coming from Lychee Red Tea. He's looking to get the damage down, but he's all on his own. Here comes a flash flip from Volley. Lychee Red Tea in a bad position. They're going to be able to get the kill. It's going to go over the Thresh, but Draven is able to pick up another one, make that 2. It might be a triple kill, and Jit Rames is off, and he is going to be taking over this game. He said, it's Draven time, baby, and he is just racking up the kills.
Yeah, with that being a 3-man gank down, I know they were going for the Graves and picking that out, but they were able, him and Leona were able to get down there super fast. And Jit Rames' spacing with his Draven is really good, staying out of trouble when he doesn't need to be, and just going in there and picking up those kills with those auto attacks and those axes.
Yeah, if you'd like to pay a special tribute to Jit Rames, you can go ahead and use the hashtag SlitJik that we've got going in chat. I really appreciate that, whoever started that. That's amazing. But yeah, so going on, they're just going to continue to roll over in the spot lane, and Jit Rames at this point has a let's take this in context. 9 minutes, has a 3k gold lead over the Jinx.
Yeah, that's pretty unheard of for a 3k gold lead on an individual within the first 6 minutes of the game. I mean, that is something that you can do with Draven more than anybody else when you start hitting those adorations back, passing those in over and over again.
Oh, now here's the ultimate out of 50 cal. They're just going to be able to do this again. Lychee Red Team is going to be the one that picks it up, and I'm sure Jit Rames is probably flaming because he didn't get that kill, but he will get the second one. And at this point in time, he might just DC because he didn't get both. If I know anything about Draven players, it's that if they don't get their way, they just end up leaving the game.
I'm sure he's asking for one of those two to be reported for not securing that kill for him, or for KSing on that dive.
Yeah, now we see Holotrix wants to go on to G-Flow. He has a 40 CS lead. He has the Zeal as well as the other item that I can't think of, but that's okay at this point in time. So he's just going to have a decent amount of attack speed, a decent amount of crit. And now we see Jit Rames still has not backed. A little bit bold of a call. I mean, he's still up in an item advantage, but the dude has almost 3,500 gold in his pocket. If you were walking around with $3,500 in your pocket, you'd be nervous.
Yeah, I'd be taking that home to the bank. So they're going back now. 10 minutes in, and they were able to get first turret. That is just a dominating lane for Grinto.
Yeah, so at this point, it's going to be, hard for this side of Flashpoint to get back in this. G-Ology has to bring the flash in the mid lane. He's still doing pretty well, though. He's got a decent CS lead at this point in time.
Yeah, so how long do you think that...
No way. So I didn't even get the called out. Just an unceremonious kill of the Lux in the mid lane by Jit Rames. Hits the full range ultimate. Just takes it down with both sides. Invincible Bleds is having run for his life. The Volley Bear is in a bad position. There's the ultimate from Lychee Red Team, and this game is spiraling out of control. And now I will throw it back to you. What was your question?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is there anything that Flashpoint can do at this point to stall this out long enough to make this close, or is it too little too late, even at this point at 11?
So you look at their team composition, and they have drafted for a heavy frontline team composition that protects the Jinx. Jinx is so far behind at this point in the game that you would have to get to 40 to 45 minutes. And with the composition that Grunto has built, if they let it get to 45 minutes, they deserve to lose.
Absolutely. I just didn't think there was going to be any way that they could stall this out long enough to get Jinx caught back up or to get Cho'Gath strong enough. I just can't see any response coming at this point.
Yeah, I think the Jinx you would think would have good wave clear, but she's just on a Vamp Scepter compared to a Bloodthirster BF Sword of the Draven, as well as, their other wave clear is Lux, who still hasn't completed first item. So it's just going to be very hard for them if they start to get sieged upon, or this split push starts happening. Like, who do you send the answer? Anybody. And the answer is nobody. You just die. But actually, at that point in time, 50 Cal might die, ends up eating the hook, ends up eating the flip, and might actually get out. There's the zap going on, but there's going to be the ultimate coming from Leona. But Jik Rames is no more. The man, the myth, the legend is now but a whisper as he takes a quick trip back to base to finally spend all that gold, and the legendary Draven goes down.
Yeah, that seemed a little greedy by the Draven. Jake Rames kind of feeling it a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. I don't know if he thought he could go in there and 1v3 after his support went down, or if he thought he was going to get her out. But getting that shutdown gold is the first step that could be to building back up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good shutdown, a good feeling to get that 1,000 gold, but you have to also think, I just got 1,000 gold shutdown at the 13-minute mark. What is happening to my game? And so now we see Malzahar just doing Malzahar things, putting the E on the wave, letting the Voidlings just go ahead and kill the rest of the minions. As much as I want to talk about the side of Flashpoint being able to have a little bit of wave clear, you also have Malzahar that can just make your wave disappear anytime he wants.
Yeah, having those Voidlings just push a lane, if he goes and buys something like Ziggurat and adds even more means and pushing the lane, things like that, Malzahar can just be very oppressive in lane. You can't really do anything.
Jit Rames gonna once again, feeling confident, sitting under turret, gonna go ahead and flash that mastery while taking turret shots. Now they're looking to get onto this side of high. They're not able to find it quite yet, but they do take down the turret. That will be a Rift Herald getting popped in the mid lane. Now Jinx is on the red side of the fight, or the wrong side of the fight. And Bovie has to think about his positioning, and he's just going to try to cut off the wave.
So they're pushing in all three lanes here. Graves is going to take that middle, Tryndamere is going to take that bottom tower, and then they're sieging on the top tower. I don't know where they need to respond. Jinx is taking a coffee break in the river.
Yeah, Jik Rames once again. Slit Jik is dead, boys. He is getting found. He has been seen wanting as he is taken down for the second time this game. That's going to be an X9 report at the end for him inting. But now we see Ligi Redzi is going to be caught out. He's looking to try to get away. He needs to get over the wall. And now this is the point where Grunto Esports has built themselves a lead, but they're starting to feel a little bit confident. And they need to remember that most of their gold is on a guy that's dead.
Yep. Because there goes Malzahar. Graves is going to walk in, and if they turn on the Graves...
Oh, big hook on the 50 cal. He's going to end up going down. J-Flow's tailed as well. But all the while, Holotronics has been in the bot lane. Just go ahead and taking that inhibitor. Almost gets it. We'll get it to half health, but the bot lane is essentially gone.
Yeah, so we are still 6 minutes away from our first Baron, and if Flashpoint has all three of their inhibitors at that point, I would be really surprised.
Yeah, one thing to note that the next dragon that comes up will end up being another Infernal Drake. So if Grunto gets that one as well, which they should, it's going to be a massive power spike. Now Bovie is caught in a bad position, is not going to be able to get away. Holotrix is able to flash on top of him, still has the ultimate, the burn, to try to get out of here. It's just doing so much damage in return. Might get another kill for it, but will get locked in place, will be been taken down as Lux is the beneficiary of that kill. And it looks like High is 1-1-2, even though his team is having a little bit of a rough time this game, to say the least. He is doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, High is holding his own against that Malzahar. They were kind of left alone for a long time while all the action was happening on other parts of the map. I mean, most of the focus in the beginning was getting that Draven so super far ahead. And even if Lux does get ahead, once he burns his ult and they start into this team fight, Draven's going to be able to pick them apart once they get into this team fight phase.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now we see a bit of a brush bank being set up here. We see the pings going down on that brush just in front of the Drake. They want to find Bitter Vet right here, and they will. And here comes the play. There is the setup, and goodbye, Bitter Vet. 50 cal takes the kill. Once again, that's just going to be another person report at the end of this game for the KS.
Yeah, so I don't know why Thresh was walking that far up with absolutely zero vision, but he paid for it. They got caught.
Yeah, now High might be in a bad position, able to get the light binding onto the Draven, but Jit Rames has started them to run down and is starting the kills as he is able to take down one, make that two as he picks up Cho'Gath as well. And now there is only 3 people left on the side of Flashpoint to defend this turret. They have an exposed inhibitor, so this could be 2 inhibitors falling before the 20-minute mark. Jit Rames is looking to keep going, though. He's trying to get onto Invincible Blebs. He's trying to close that distance. Bitter Vet has to run for the life. Here comes the Malzahar's ultimate, able to put him in the void as Thresh is falling. And now we still have another 5 seconds on the top laner as well as the mid laner. They will rotate over to the bot lane exposed inhibitor. And my God, Grunto Esports is making quick work of this game.
Yeah, Jit Rames was walking in and taking everybody out. But that was 3 auto attacks there.
Yeah, 3 auto attacks. He's got a big head. He also has a big damage in this game. So he's just looking to shred everyone. He does have no mana. So may have to decide to back out here. And it could be the call for Grunto Esports to take the reset.
Yeah, if they take this reset here, they can push in, set up some vision, just take this Baron if they want. I think they could probably end the game without it. Looks like the chat probably thinks that they might end this game without the Baron as well. So let's see if they take it for the flare or if they want to push through and see if they can take it without Baron.
Yeah, like you said, still 1 more minute on that Baron. They do have the opportunity to, go ahead and take that. They'd be the ones that just get that and just end the game. I think if they just wait for the Baron, they take the Baron, they end the game right off of it. Because you have super minions pouring into the base with no wave clear answer for the side of Flashpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an easy win condition. All you gotta do is take it and just kind of walk down mid and then rotate to where the super minions are, and they can just let those push in because they're not going to be able to clear. Jinx isn't strong enough to clear the wave yet. Lux isn't going to be able to clear the wave too strongly yet either. So,
yeah. So let's just Jit Rames has found out Invincible Blebs. They're going to just jump on top of him, and he is gone unstoppable. Jit Rames on 3 completed items to the garage sale of Jinx items, still waiting to complete 1. So now it looks like the side of Grunto Esports has decided to get onto the Baron. Flashpoint is trying to clear some wards to try to be able to get in to maybe look for a Lux steal. The final spark is going to be too early, and that might be the call of the final hour for the side of Flashpoint. As the Baron has gone down, the gold differential is essentially at, I don't know, like 17k almost at this point, and it just looks like there is no way back in for Flashpoint.
yeah, this is just a matter of time. They're going to go ahead and finish this off and finish taking the top turrets, getting that last inhibitor, and then they'll get those double waves of super minions, which I don't even think they'll need to wait for. They're going to have to fight out this turret right here. we'll see what happens, but I don't think they can repel them for very long.
Flashpoint needs to make a decision right now. There are super minions pouring in the base. They either take the fight here or they lose everything and they just wait for their Nexus turret fight. And so now it looks like Gruntos decide to go in. They try to close the distance. Jit Rames gets splashed on, is able to get out of the way. One more turret shot might take him down, and it does. So there goes the damage. But now Lichi Retzi is trying to get in the back line. They're trying to get the damage onto the Jinx, but Bovi is free firing, has been unanswered. Holotrex has to flash out of the way. This might be the fight that they're looking for. Malzahar trying to get away. The zap is able to get it for Bovi. A huge play. A double kill goes over to the Jinx. Does not have the Major Death Rocket. Will not be able to find the Malzahar, but they do get some kills that they desperately need. I don't know if they're back in the game, but they at least won themselves a fight.
Yeah, that's a good, a big moral victory for them. Getting those those kills and holding them under tower. The Volibear flip on Draven, getting him in there and taking that extra tower shot was definitely a key for turning that, because if he would have stayed alive, there's no way that Jinx would have had the time to get those auto attacks off and start to rack up those kills.
Yeah, but with that, there is no base essentially for the side of Flashpoint. They have one inhibitor. They have no Nexus turrets. The only thing they can do is just hope that they can buy a little bit of time for their inhibitors to come back, so that way they just can't take the base. But a Mountain Drake is on the board for the side of Grunto if they decide they want it, but the next push might be the last.
Yeah, so if they even have a chance, if they draw them out of base, if Flashpoint starts to leave base, Holotronics and GE Loyalty will both have their teleports up pretty soon. With all those super minions in the base, they'll be able to just go in and take the Nexus if they can draw them out of the base. So
yeah, if they're able to draw them out whatsoever, if they get any splish push, if they don't have it warded, they're going to be kind of in a pretty terrible position to do anything with it. And so now the call is for Flashpoint to go ahead and head back to the Nexus and start their defense. But here comes Grunto. They're looking to start this fight. They're going to go ahead and take the mid lane inhibitor. They will continue to walk these minions in. They want to do the march of victory as they look to close out this game before the 25-minute mark. They need one pitch. One pitch could end this game, and Holotronics is looking to be the one that gets it. Bitterbet might want to step up, but he takes one auto attack to make that two, and he is dead. They're trying to flip in Jit Rames, but Jit Rames is doing too much damage. Holotronics is able to take him down. Looks like Leono's able to find the side of Jinx over on the other side. The Nexus is exposed. The game is taken, and it will be Grunto Esports picking up the win here in our last game of the Friday night Military Gaming League Series.
yeah, and that was just a total smash. Once Draven was able to get those first 3 kills, cash in those 3 adoration stacks, he had a full item before Jinx made her first back pretty much, and it was a snowball running downhill from there.
Yeah, so Slitchick Rames able to get the damage, able to do what he needs to do. Did just absolutely bonkers amount of damage for his team. He had 25k damage. The next closest person was 11k damage. Quick math tells me he almost did the entire other team's damage when he did that. So guys, with that, we will of course be talking to none other than Jit Rames after this. So we're going to go ahead and head over there now and get a quick interview with Jit Rames to see how he's able to do it. So Jit Rames, I'm going to start things off. Curly Head Maria is here as well. I want to go ahead and ask you about this game. I know Draven is one of your number 1 picks. Were you expecting for that to get through the draft, and how excited were you for being able to see that one come up for you? Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm glad you put it that way. You'll have to unmute your mic so that we can hear you, unfortunately.
Can you hear
There
me
we go.
now? Oh, there we go,
Yeah,
there we go.
boy. Hey,
Okay,
you gotta
there we
be
go.
10% more intelligent than your equipment, right?
Oh, yeah. That's bad.
There you go. ASVAB waiver number 2. All right, so Jit Rames, tell me about that game. Did you expect to get Draven? How did it feel to play your favorite champ?
I didn't expect to get it at all, which was we had prepared for and looked at other options as far as team comps. but I saw that our team was going for a pretty snowball looking team, pretty heavy on the damage, especially on early game damage. And I noticed that their comp had quite a bit of decent CC and tankiness. So we had two options, either play for late game or just shoot the dice and go stomp them early. So hopefully that'll work in the future. I'm not so sure it will, but it happened to work out this time. We're pretty happy about it.
Did you think you'd get a double kill first turret and be this fed early in the game, considering Thresh countered basically Draven and Leona?
It's not uncommon to get doubles early, and that's pretty much like the bread and butter of Draven's kit. I knew that if I didn't get fed early, we already had discussed a plan as far as farming up to get adoration stacks and hopefully trying to cash out. I did take a cut down rune for late game if needed, if the Cho'Gath and Bully got too fed, but I really wasn't too worried about it.
It seemed like the 8-0 in the beginning of the game. So, since we saw Grunto being very dominant in this game, will we be seeing this tomorrow against US Army Esports as well?
I'm not so sure about that one. We do. I believe we have our roster support on tomorrow, Broken Blade, and he and I have played quite a bit of solo queue together. So hopefully the synergy works out there. But as far as facing a well orchestrated team like Army Sports, we're gonna have to really go into the details of macro and how we're gonna counter their team comps. So we're looking forward to it, and should be a really good game and really good rest of the tournament.
We're also looking forward to that too. And one more question. Do you have any other Draven skins for tomorrow's match?
I have every Draven skin and chroma around. I spend too much money on this game. So.
Now, do you expect to get the Draven, or do you now? I know you know Talented and you've played against him. Which one of you is the better Draven player?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know I snowball very hard. I tend to play on the very, very aggressive side. But I also am not a great player from behind and tend to get a little overly confident on some champions. So it's hard to tell. I've never actually personally seen his Draven, but I've seen a lot of his other ADC, and I'm pretty impressed with how he plays on his leads, and his laning phase is really strong overall.
Yeah, so I want to say, Jit Rams, thank you very much for coming on and talking with us. I really appreciate it. You know, we like the insight getting from the players like you. So it's super well played today, man. I can't congratulate you enough.
Thank you. We're looking forward to tomorrow. Awesome casting.
Thanks so much, dude. So guys, with that will be the end of our cast for this evening. We appreciate you showing up for the MGL's League of Legends weekend tournament. Tomorrow, US Army Esports will face off against Grunto. Grunto looked absolutely dominant in this match. Army Esports seemed to be out of sorts, but then we'll have Twisted Sin taking on Flashpoint right after that. The action will start at 11:30 Pacific time. So guys, please remember to tune in then. I'm sure there'll be tons of announcements and social media coming your way. We have to go back and mention our sponsors once again. And one of the things that I want to hit right off the top of this is going to be the Patreon, where you can directly support the Military Gaming League. So if you want to support them, all you have to do is make sure that you head over to patreon.com/Military Gaming League. All that money goes right back into the organization, goes right back to you as veterans, as active duty military, and as gamers. So make sure you support Military Gaming League in that way. Big thank you to our sponsors, and a boost above. It's huge that we get those kinds of things. And, you know, we always talk about our mental health and our mental wellness. So we appreciate them coming out and supporting us in that way, as well as Verta Chairs coming in, you know, one of the best in the league. We really appreciate them. So guys, I thank all of you for coming out tonight. And I can't forget none other than James Gamer Tribute Johnson. I appreciate you, man. So with that will be the end of our cast. We appreciate you guys showing up. I hope to see the rest of you all out here tomorrow. Tell your friends, tell your family, get them in this Twitch. We want to see those numbers boosted. If we go over 100, who knows what'll happen? Probably something spectacular. So guys, It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you being out here. I appreciate you guys allowing me to cast. And we will see you next time when we come back tomorrow for our matches for the following day in the Military Gaming League's League of Legends tournament. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.